Are you considering making a move to the heart of the Midwest, but you're not sure if Kansas City is for you? Well, you have come to the right place. I have lived in Kansas City for my entire life, so I like to think that I know the ins and outs of everything that goes on in the Kansas City area, and I am not going to be holding anything back from you all today. We're going to be diving deep into the pros and cons of living in Kansas City to help you be able to make an informed decision on if Kansas City is the right place for you. Whether you're drawn to our famous barbecue, our 3-time Super Bowl champs, or the bustling job market, I am here to help you navigate your new life in Kansas City. Now let's go ahead and get right into the video because I have a lot to talk to you about today. First thing I want to talk to you about today is the affordability of living in Kansas City. Kansas City has been celebrated for a long time for the affordable cost of living, which makes it an attractive destination for individuals and families wanting and hoping to make their money stretch further. Let me give you a clear example of some price differences. Let's say that you are looking for a property for your family of 4. You can very easily find a home in the Kansas City area for around $250,000 to $350,000. That would be a 3-bed, 2-bath in a pretty nice neighborhood. Now, let's compare that same sized home to similar properties in other states. In California, for example, where of course we all know housing prices are extremely high, a similar 3-bed and 2-bath home can easily be $800,000 or more. And in New York, that same home could cost $600,000 or more. So, as you can see, buying a home in Kansas City allows you to enjoy a very comfortable lifestyle without breaking the bank. But affordability is not the only thing drawing people to the Kansas City area. This city is also experiencing a surge of exciting new projects that are reshaping its landscape and fueling its growth. I am first going to talk about one of the most recent announcements that came out about Kansas City, which is the construction happening for the state-of-the-art Google Center. This is going to be an absolute game changer for the city's economy and workforce. It is a $1 billion investment that is projected to create 1,000 construction jobs immediately and an impressive 1,400 jobs once the center is operational. Google's decision to choose Kansas City for its new data center underscores the city's attractiveness as a hub for tech innovation and economic development. This represents a significant step forward in driving progress and property for the city and its residents. We also have a super fun project going on, which is the revival process of the Rock Hill Bridge. It is located in the heart of Kansas City's West Bottoms. This bridge is the first of its kind, and it's going to feature a restaurant, a bar, coffee shop, live music venue, and rental space. As the Rock Hill Bridge Entertainment District takes shape, it's just the beginning of an exciting transformation for Kansas City's riverfront. The city is now bustling with plans for a riverfront park, complete with scenic trails leading to long floating docks on both sides. Additionally, near the bridge, plans are underway to offer kayak and canoe rentals, and rumors even suggest that there might be a very cool zip line going in near the Rock Hill Bridge as well. With these ambitious projects in motion, the city is poised to redefine the riverfront as a dynamic hub of recreation and entertainment for residents and visitors alike. And if you thought Kansas City couldn't get any more exciting, get ready for the ultimate family adventure, which is the Mattel Adventure Park. Inspired by some of the nation's favorite toys, this brand new theme park is set to open its doors in Bonner Springs in 2026. And yes, it is totally for adults too. They are set to have 2 Hot Wheel roller coasters, a Barbie beach house, which will have a theater, a rooftop bar, and a restaurant, as well as interactive experiences. There's also going to be a mini golf course that is inspired by Mattel games like Pictionary, Magic 8 Ball, and so much more. I honestly could go on and on about all of the new development going on in Kansas City right now, but I'm thinking that I should maybe save it for another YouTube video. Now let's talk about what it's like to get around in Kansas City. Kansas City has a very efficient transportation system. They also have very minimal traffic congestion. If you compare Kansas City to other cities where traffic jams can typically be a headache, Kansas City offers residents in the metro area a commute of less than half an hour on average. Even in the very rural parts of Kansas, traffic remains minimal, allowing allowing residents to reach the next town within a reasonable time frame of 30 minutes to an hour. And if you need to catch a flight, living in Kansas City means convenience is just around the corner. If you live anywhere in the Kansas City metro area, it only takes you about 15 to 25 minutes to get to this is another new thing, the brand new Kansas City airport. I personally live in Parkville, Missouri, and it only takes us about 15 minutes to get from my house to the airport, which is amazing. It'll be super convenient whenever I decide to start taking vacations again. So whether you're commuting to work, exploring the city, or catching a flight, living in Kansas City means that there's going to be a lot less time being stuck in traffic and more time enjoying life. Now we're going to talk about one of my favorite things, which is food. And when it comes to Kansas City, there are plenty of options. Of course, as I said in the beginning, we are known for our mouth-watering barbecue, but we also have plenty of fun food trucks, wine bars, the famous Anthony's Italian restaurant, the new 1587 Prime, and so much more. But I do feel like I need to talk about this first, which is the Kansas City barbecue. From iconic establishments like Arthur Bryant's and Gates Barbecue to hidden gems like Joe's KC and Q39, there are absolutely no shortage of options when it comes to indulging in the city's signature dish. If you do ever decide to either move to Kansas City or visit, the one barbecue joint that you have to visit in Kansas City is Joe's Barbecue. And I would highly recommend trying the Z-Man sandwich. You will not regret it. But of course, Kansas City's food scene extends far beyond barbecue. There is definitely something satisfying for everyone here. If you are in the mood for more refined dining, we have places like Ocean Prime, Eddie V's, the Capitol Grill, and the soon-to-be open 1587 Prime. But you cannot forget about the classics either. Anthony's Italian restaurant has been a beloved restaurant for ages. They serve up some amazing Italian dishes that will never fail to impress. And if you go there, I highly recommend getting their lasagna with the meat sauce. Chef's kiss. And for those of you who love exploring the outdoors, Kansas City has a plethora of options. We have about 200 parks, 103 playgrounds, and 29 lakes scattered throughout the metropolitan area. Whether you're a cyclist looking to hit the trails or a family in search of a perfect picnic spot, I would say Kansas City has something for everyone. Here are some outdoor activities that I would highly recommend you try if you are visiting or moving to the Kansas City area. First is the Overland Park Botanical Gardens. It's beautifully landscaped with winding trails. It has gardens, a children's discovery barn, and so much more. They have about 300 acres of land there, and the tickets are super cheap. I think it's like $2 to $5 per person. If you have kids, or even if you just want to go by yourself, the Kansas City Zoo is another really good option. And if you wanted to, you could take a quick 3-hour trip up to the Omaha Zoo, which is one of the top 5 rated zoos in the world. I have been there multiple times, and it's actually a really fun experience even for adults. Hiking is another really big passion of mine. So another perk about being in the middle of the country is that there are tons of day trips that you can take to different hiking spots. A lot of people think that Missouri and Kansas are very flat states, but they actually have a lot to offer. Me and my boyfriend have seen some beautiful waterfalls, and we have climbed some pretty steep hills from some trails that have only been about 3 hours away from where we live. If you would like to have some information about the best trails near the Kansas City area, leave a comment below in the video and I will gladly share whatever I can with you. As you can tell, we have no shortage of outdoor activities in Kansas City, but we do have some pretty harsh weather throughout the year, and that's going to bring me to my first con about living in Kansas City. From our scorching hot summers to our below zero winters, Kansas City experiences a wide range of weather patterns throughout the year, which of course can pose challenges for outdoor activities. In the spring and summer, you may find yourself dealing with severe thunderstorms, possible tornadoes, hail damage, and some pretty humid heat. And then our winters bring frigid temps, ice storms, and occasional snow, which sometimes our snow plows don't do the best job at cleaning up, which can lead to hazardous driving conditions. I would say one of my least favorite things about living in Kansas City is how unpredictable the weather can be. Literally, it can be sunny and 75 degrees one day and then 35 degrees the next. But over time, you do learn to adapt and make the most of each season. It's just something to keep in mind if you are planning on moving to the Midwest. So the next thing that I'm going to be talking to you guys about is the crime rate in Kansas City. It is important to be aware of some of the challenges of city living, including concerns about safety. Like any urban area, Kansas City is not immune to crime, and you do have to be mindful of your surroundings and take precautions to ensure your well-being. Let's take a closer look at the crime rates in certain neighborhoods and how they may impact daily life of the residents. Don't get me wrong, Kansas City has a lot of safe neighborhoods, but again, like any other city, there's going to be bad neighborhoods too. According to recent statistics, the city's crime rate is above the national average. The particular concerns that we deal with are property crime and violent crime. Property crime includes theft, burglary, and vandalism, which these things do remain as a prevalent issue in some of the Kansas City neighborhoods. Violent crimes such as assault, robbery, and homicide also pose a significant challenge in certain parts of the city. I'm going to share with you guys a story that happened to me and my boyfriend when we were in the Kansas City Plaza for a date night. We were at Prime Social. It was pretty late. We got some drinks and then we ended up leaving around midnight, and we had to walk a couple blocks back to our car. As we were walking back to our car, there was a car that was driving through the plaza, and someone in the back seat rolled down their window. They yelled at us and said, "I'm going to ruin your date night." They pulled out a gun and they shot us with the gun. Thankfully, it was just an air gun, but it did make me really think about my safety when I'm going into the city, and it made me realize that there's a lot more going on that I am not fully aware of. So you do definitely need to be careful. But the good thing is city officials and community organizations are actively working to address these issues through increased law enforcement, community outreach programs, and neighborhood revitalization efforts. And while crime rates may be a concern for some residents, it is important to remember that the city also offers many safe and welcoming neighborhoods where families can thrive. Another issue that residents often face is limited public transportation options and infrastructure available. Kansas City's public transportation, while it is functional, may not fully meet the needs of all of the residents. With limited coverage and service frequency, some residents may find it solely challenging to rely just on the city's public transportation system. I personally don't rely on Kansas City's public transportation system at all, but it is fun to ride the Kansas City streetcar every now and then for the heck of it. I have heard that they are also in the process of expanding access to the Kansas City streetcar. That project will be complete in 2025, which I know there are a lot of people really excited about it. But overall, Kansas City is definitely known for their drivability. We do always have Uber and Lyft drivers available, but we do not have taxis like a lot of the bigger cities have. So if you are ever at the Kansas City airport, do not expect taxi drivers to be waiting in a line for you. Just a heads up. The last con that I have about Kansas City is our taxes. Taxes are surprisingly high in Kansas City. In terms of home prices, Kansas City is very appealing, but residents often find themselves dealing with the reality of a high tax region. For instance, Missouri imposes income tax rates that can be a burden on residents. Consider this: on the first $15,000 of taxable income earned, Missouri will take 2.7%. Beyond that threshold, residents face an additional 4.6% tax rate. Even for married couples, the rate stays the same, which makes it considerably expensive for your household. However, it's important to note that despite the heavy tax burden, there are some silver linings. All the revenue that's collected from taxes are channeled towards essential public services such as parks, schools, and road maintenance. Because if you live in Kansas City, you know we have a lot of potholes. These investments are crucial for maintaining and enhancing the quality of life for residents of Kansas City. So, while taxes may impose a financial challenge for some, residents can find reassurance in knowing that their contributions are vital for upkeep and improvements of their community's infrastructure and amenities. As we wrap up our exploration of the pros and cons of living in Kansas City, it's clear that our city offers a unique blend of opportunities and challenges. From its affordable housing market to all the new construction that we have going on, to its high taxes and unpredictable weather, Kansas City has a lot of different experiences for everyone to enjoy. Whether you're someone who is considering to move to Kansas City or you've been a resident here for a while, keep keep in mind that every place has its unique qualities. Ultimately, it's the people, the communities, and the shared experiences that make Kansas City truly special. And you can't forget about our Kansas City Chiefs. Before you decide to make the leap to Kansas City, I invite you to reach out to me and ask me any questions that you may have. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up if you like this video and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more about the Kansas City area. And lastly, if you have any specific topics that you would ever like me to talk about on here about Kansas City or the real estate market as a whole, please leave any questions that you have in the comment section below and I will gladly make a video for you over that. And as always, thank you for watching my video and supporting my channel, and I hope you all have a good day.